Underage marriage phenomenon. It is a social phenomenon that can be described as a disaster due to its negative consequences for girls. A minor is every girl who has not reached the age of 18 according to international law, and she is not entitled to marry before this age. But, unfortunately, there are methods that are taken to forge official papers and complete this marriage, which has many negative effects on the family and society as well. And we can see that daily through the news. Fear is an obsession that haunts parents because of the spread of spencerhood, which pushes them to marry their daughters to get rid of them without fear from the future that awaits them. The social heritage supports the social structure of tribes, and specifically in rural areas. This type of marriage, such as Lebanon, is one of the countries that follow the inheritance of this marriage, as they see that it is acceptable in the customs of those tribes, without paying any attention to those girls and their desires, their identity, their dignity, and their right to choose. Now, let's go for the reasons of underage marriage. Of course, there's no excuse for this crime, but let's take a look at the thinking of some. Poverty, which is one of the most important reasons leading to the marriage of minors, which is widespread in poor areas, in which the number of members of a single family abounds, which leads to forcing parents to marry their daughters at young age in order to get rid of their expenses. Second, intellectual ignorance, which is spread among families who do not realize the extent of the danger and the harm in marrying a girl at a young age, and they do not recognize that she is unable to bear the responsibility of a husband, children, and other family responsibilities. Now, why are we against it? The girl's genitalia during this period is 100% incomplete to withstand the hardships of pregnancy, which exposes her to many risks during marriage and during pregnancy, such as pregnancy disorders, diabetes, and stress. And studies have indicated that a large percentage of children with congenital anomalies are due to the young age of the mother. And there is also a death rate among young mothers, with an estimated 70,000 girls dying each year of pregnancy and childbirth related complications. The immaturity of a girl's mind, which makes her not to know how to act with her husband, especially if the age difference between her and her husband is great. So how can she act with a man who was imposed on her when he is at the age of her father?
Hi, this is Dala. The Clinton Foundation notes that child marriage limited the full potential of girls and undermines health, education, economic opportunity, and security. Early wedlock is most common among the world's poorest children. One study found that teenager marriage in USA increased by nearly 50% in the 1990s, thanks to the spread of abstinence only until marriage, sexual education at American schools, a shifted toward cultural conservatism among some teenagers, and growing fear among youngsters on contracting AIDS through promiscuity. As the Chicago Tribune wrote in 2004, child marriage is much less of an issue in the USA than it is in other countries with similar laws. By 2002, only about 2.1% of American girls between the ages of 15 and 17 were considered in a union, and just 1/10 of 0.1% were married. Meanwhile, in Niger, 39% of girls are married by 18 and 22% are in Bolivia. Most US states set the age of consent at 18, but minors can get married younger if their parents approve or if a judge thinks it's in their best interest. Some states only enacted minimum marriage age a few years ago after a rash of betrothals between 20 or 30 something and teens. Even though American teens who get married might have more say in the matter than their counterparts in other countries. Many advocates believe permissive child marriage laws can still be harmful. The Clinton Foundation report notes that while many factors influence the prevalence of child marriage, laws can play a foundation role by setting minimum age of marriage, which affect social norms and expectations. For example, after the Maldives set the minimum marriage age to 18 in 2001, the percent of girls who were married by age 18 fell from nearly half in 1995 to just 6% in 2009.